And now, from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara Podcast. Here's Jeff.
Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. And if you're on the other side of the planet, happy Sunday to you. All right, it's been a busy week, as every week pretty much is. And it's time for you. It's time for you to shine. It's time for you to come and share your experience here on Saturday night. So if you want to join me on the Zoom, it's real easy. You can use the link below in the description, or you can go to Zoom. You can click join a meeting, and then you can use the password and the Zoom ID, which are both down below. All right, so we've got some unique guests coming up this week. Tomorrow's guest, his name is Jason Shurka, and he's a person that speaks at these big events. And I'm not really sure exactly how to describe what he's up to, but there is something called the TLS, the light system, and it is basically like I don't know if you would say a covert group, but a covert group that does good things for the planet. And it's amazing what they're up to. It's kind of like a modern day superhero group in a way, more or less. I mean, probably a little bit less on the superhero side, but something like that, like the Avengers or something. And he is the spokesperson for them. So it's something that's really unique, and I think you guys will really like this conversation. The next guest, which is on Monday, is Sarah Breskman Cosme, and she used to work with Dolores Cannon's daughter, I believe, Julia Cannon, and she has done a lot of QHHT and regressing people back to ETs, and we talked about the advice, ET's advice on how to be superhuman, and that was a fascinating conversation. And then today's guest that I recorded was with a woman yogi, a yogini from India, from, I think it's Karnataka, India. Or she's a guru ma, like a female version of a guru. And her name is Yogini Rome. So, and that was a fascinating, because she's had an NDE as well as it's like I was having a conversation with a yogi, kind of like talking to Sadhguru or something. So those next three guests are very unique, and I hope you guys really enjoy them. All right, so I think we already got somebody here ready to go. And let's see. Oh, there was somebody. He was here earlier. I don't know what happened to him. So we will wait till he comes back. All right, so also below in the description is a link to our Facebook page, JeffMara Podcast Facebook page. There is a link to my personal Facebook page. If you want to friend me, you're welcome to friend me. And you will see that my last name is Reynolds. My beloved is Mara. And so the podcast is named after me and her, JeffMara Podcast. Oh, here's Patrick. He's back. So let's bring him in. And we'll see what Patrick has to say. Now, I think he messaged me, and I thought it would have been best for him to come here tonight. And we didn't have to. I don't think that's why I'm not vetting him. Patrick.
Oh,
Hi.
Patrice. Hello.
Patrice.
Oh my God, I thought I missed it. There's daylight saving here.
Oh,
It's
no.
2 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for staying up late. I appreciate it. And now I pronounce your name Patrice?
Yes, Patrice. Well, actually, I bit my tongue just before. I thought, oh my God, and my clock was going to ring. It's like somebody woke me up and I bit my tongue in my sleep.
Wow. You are ready. Where are you from again? Is it Czechoslovakia? Or?
No, I'm from France, but I'm originally from Poland.
Poland. Okay, yeah, because you don't have a French name.
No.
So the only Polish I know is Jacques Chamaz. That's it.
Oh,
That's it.
very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, but it was from my grandparents. I don't speak Polish, so
Oh,
I
you
lived
don't
in.
speak Polish.
No, I was raised in France, and okay.
All right. So we chatted online, right? A little bit, and I said, "Come tonight and share your experience with us." So tell us all about it.
Okay, so this is what happened. In
Mm-hmm.
2019, a friend and I, we built a website. It was a directory of dentists in France. I'm going to make it short because this is a long story. And I got sued for it because my name was in the legal term. So I got sued
Wow.
because it did not respect regulation. We kind of fucked up. We
Mm-hmm.
goofed around too much with the law, let's say it like this. So we basically used the private data of dentist names to create a directory so people could call and use 900 numbers. That's how we could finance the website. But it actually worked too well. And the French dentists got flooded with calls, and they got super grumpy, and they sued me. So I went to the police, because in France the Better Business Bureau is a special police, so it's actually the police. And I got investigated, and it's like in the movies, you get like interrogation and stuff. It's very crazy. Call your lawyer, blah 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 blah. It's exactly like that, and it traumatized me so much. That was absolutely horrible. And I risked $300,000 of fine and 3 years of jail.
Wow.
And
Terrible.
I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm just a small guy in the forest. I'm an indie web developer. I'm a small guy. But it's just why I did not realize how the law system works. It's like they have these predefined fines. It's just for the worst case scenario. My scenario was not that bad, but it was the first time I was confronted to the law, so I had no idea. And my mom passed away about at the same time. So I had a double whammy. I was so depressed that every night I would go to bed and I would say, I don't want to wake up, for almost a year. But I was crying every day. I was like, no, I don't want to wake up. I will never be able to pay that fine. I don't want to go to jail. And that's when my guitar teacher told me, you should start meditation. And my wife had been trying to tell me to do meditation for years, and I did not listen to her. Listen to your wife. Okay. And I started, and after a few months, I entered into the light for like 20 seconds, and I was laughing so hard. I was so happy. I was surrounded by light. It was like a flash of light in my head. And it wasn't in my head, it was around me. And it was beautiful. And my wife came to see me and said, oh my God, what did you do? You're so happy. You were crying all the time. And it's like, did you smoke weed? I said, no, I entered into the light. Like, when dead people say, I entered into the light in the movie. It was exactly like this. And that was it for this episode. So I keep going with meditation. And I said to my wife, because the lawsuit was still going on. Well, actually, the police and the dentist Corporation of France were still debating what to do with my case, so it took a long time. I'm going to make it short. I did not go to court. In the end, they settled for $75,000 settlement. So I'm glad I didn't go to court. That was a happy ending, but was still a lot of money. But that's it. So I said to my wife during that time, let's go to Portugal, because that was one of our dreams. And we got very, very blessed. It was right before the lockdown. And I said, I'm 50 years old. I'm going to take care of myself. And there was a little massage salon by our apartment in Portugal. And I said, every week I'm going to treat myself with a massage for the first time in my life. And I did not know anything about energy work at the time. And so I would just go for a massage. But massage lady is actually a descendant of an Amazonian shaman, and she trained in Nepal with monks. And I did not know that. And she took me into the zone very quickly. I started experiencing my past lives in hyper reality for 1 hour on the massage table. So the first one I re-experienced was I was a plant. But this is more real than here. That's what people describe in NDEs. This is not real. This is a hologram. I totally get it now because I experienced it. It's like the picture quality and the colors, they just don't exist here. It's so much more refined. It's 360 degrees vision. The level of emotion and vibration is so high. This is just incredible. So this is how it started, and then I would go every week for a massage, and I would experience another 1 hour trip as a past life, etc., etc. I'm going to make it short because I was very blessed to have like 10 trips of 1 hour in hyper reality. It was really, it's like I had 10 NDEs basically. I was so lucky. And she realized, so the lady who did the massage realized what was happening with me, and she said, "Oh my God, how do you do this?" She says, "It takes monks like 50 years to get to that state." I said, "I don't know." And she realized that was true. And after a while, she cleaned me up, she did her job, her energy work, and one day I vomited energy on the massage table. I went, "Bwah!" But there was actually texture to it, like kind of like a gummy bear that was coming out of my mouth, and that was it. And I said, "What was that?" And she said, "I got it." And I did not understand at that time what it was. Now I know it was dark energy that was in me, probably from the depression or something like this, what I was going through. I was not on medication. I don't take medication or drugs, just to let you know. And that was it. And then I started to see emojis on people when they were touching me. That were representing their mood. It was just a little emoji on the person, like a heart or a little message. I was like, "Oh my God, what is that?" I can see stuff on people, but it's so cool. And then I started to feel super good after a while. I believe it was like what people would define the Kundalini awakening or something like this. I don't know. I didn't have a Kundalini like crazy experience like people describe. I was so happy. I would get like this moment of bliss just standing at the red light in the street or something. I was like, "Oh my God, this red light is so beautiful. I love it." That was so wild. Even the garage door opening, I was like, "Oh, this garage door is amazing. I love it." And that was it. And then we came back to France, and I said, my wife was sick for many, many years, like 10 years, something like this, and nobody could figure out what she had. She test, nobody could figure out. I said, "Let's just do a ritual like the lady in Portugal does, because she would do like this pranayama breathing and stuff like that." So we did that. We just goofed around. We were laughing so hard. I did breath of fire on her body. We're like, like a crazy maniac. We are laughing, laughing, laughing. But her intention was so pure, it actually worked. I got a flash I saw inside her body, full HD X-ray. And I said, "Oh my God, what is this?" I saw a picture. I thought I was crazy. And baf, second flash. I said, "Oh my God, I have to look it up on Google. What is this?" It was like the musical instrument, the mouth harp, like kind of country music. I said, "What is this?" I looked it up and I got very lucky. I think this was arranged by the universe. The first picture that came on Google Image was my vision, and it was a parasite. I said, "This is what you have. You have a parasite. This is what it's called. Look at this picture." And this was during a lockdown episode, and we got so freaking lucky. We called the doctor online. We never do that in France. You have to go see it physically. For now, you can, thanks to COVID. That brought good things. And we said, "This is what my wife has. This parasite is eating her from the inside because she had difficulty breathing. It's a parasite that actually eats your tissues from the inside. And it's called ankylostoma. And this is what she had. And they did not even ask for a blood test, stool test, or anything. This is just absolutely impossible. And they gave us the medicine. And this is the first time I saw inside a human body. And I got a message. I mean, they delivered the message the way they could with my vocabulary. My vocabulary was, "Look on Google, type this." This is what I did. That made no sense what I typed, but that was the first picture, was my vision. And this is the first time I saw an X-ray of a human body, but it's like full HD. This is absolutely crazy. Then we got into Reiki just for fun because it was locked down, so we were looking for stuff to do. We did the online Reiki course with all of it is fake and stuff like that, so we started doing. And then our friends asked, "Could you do Reiki on me to see what happens?" And then when I did Reiki on people, I started to see their past lives. So we have a friend who is actually a German executive in a very, very big company, and he did not believe in any of this. And the guy is limping. And we did a Reiki on him. I did a Reiki on him, and I could see him kicking a guy in medieval times. And the guy on the massage table was like, "Whoa, whoa, what's going on?" And he said, "I can taste blood in my mouth. This is crazy. This is crazy." And I said, "Well, you kicked a guy in the head in the medieval times." And then he was screaming. And then he had a tear like this. He said, "I'm not sad, but I'm crying. What's happening?" And then the Reiki session finishes. He gets off the table. The guy's not limping anymore. He says, "What just happened?" And so we did this for friends, just for fun. And then I started to see inside bodies, over condition and stuff like that, or energies that were stuck in the body and they were being removed. I don't know by which miracle. And then one day I had a lady with a fibroid and I started the Reiki and I started to put the energy and I made a mistake. I touched her body with my hand and the energy of the fibroid went through my hand and I had actually a burn mark in my hand. And I went, wow, I'm burned. And I lost my eyesight. My eyesight became red. I became blind for 2 minutes. And I received the message, go outside, touch a stone. So we're lucky. So I was like touching the walls to go outside. We're lucky we have a big stone in the garden and I touched it. And I felt this discharge of energy going into the ground and my eyesight turned green. And I said, oh my God, this is Archangel Raphael. So I had no idea who Archangel Raphael is. We're not religious. We don't go to church. We just go to church if there's a wedding or a funeral, basically. And we don't know anything about archangels and stuff like that. And so I come back when my eyesight is back. And I go back to the lady, and then I started to receive instructions. In the corner of my picture, if you want, in my viewport, I receive mudras. I see 2 hands, and they say, if you do this work, you do this, and you do like this. And I don't know anything about mudras. I'm not very cultivated person. I didn't go to school very much, so I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. They give me the documentation with it. I totally embraced the journey of what was happening. I was not afraid. I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. I get the instructions. I don't even have to study. And like, I talked to other healers about it. I'm like, oh my God, you're so lucky. You have the instructions and you're not afraid, because there are other people like me, but people are afraid and they stop their gifts. It's not really a gift, because I believe we learned this before in previous lives. And that was it. And then I continued meditating, blah, 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 blah. And I did, oh my God, does this work remotely? And I tried to find people online who would be willing to try. And I found a forum in the US, actually, Elizabeth April forum. And I found 10 people. And I told them, don't tell me what you have. I don't want to know. I'm going to use the name of your nickname on the forum. I don't even want to know if you're a man or a woman. And I started dreaming inside their bodies. It was like I was a little spaceship in their body, like the movies. And I could see their disease, full HD, like I was in the lungs of the person, in the liver. So if you have a liver condition, this, that. And sometimes, well, very often, not all the time. I want to be very clear about that. It's not magic. The people, I would see energies work on the organs. And a few days later, the people would be healed from their condition. I was like, whoa. But this is a full HD movie. I don't know if you've ever done medicinal plants like ayahuasca or mushrooms.
I have not.
You see colors. You see colors that don't exist here. It's that level of picture. This is absolutely incredible. So I actually reached that state without plants. And this was absolutely incredible. And the people started to heal spontaneously. So it was not always instant, but or it would create a dynamic in their life that they would meet somebody who would fix their condition holistically or physically, and they've been looking for 10 or 20 years. This is just incredible. It created a motion or a miracle sometimes, because there was a kid with a lung disease that just healed miraculously. And this is incredible.
Are you looking for more people to experiment with?
Actually, I'm starting to do this as a business. It's like my over web business is dying. It's like my guides, I suppose. I don't know. I haven't met them. Are pushing me to go this way. They're like, no, you have to go. So I've met mediums on the way, and they're telling me, no, this is what you have to go. Don't worry. This other business is going to die. I actually had that happened during sessions, because I started to do free sessions when I started at the beginning of the year. And some people say, your business is going to do a reboot. Don't worry. They got messages for me. It's like, this is how my guides communicate with me. They say, don't worry. You're going to have financial stress right there, but it's normal. You have to do the shift of career. Everything is prepared. You're going to meet people who are going to help you on the way. You told me, go on the web, go interviews. It's like the message it's like the red carpet of things to do. Just do this, trust, leap of faith. And this was very difficult, because I have still have my fine to pay, and I did a loan to pay this. And in July, actually, we had 150 euros left on our account. And my wife said, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "Nothing. I'm going to trust the mediums who told me the messages." And I had this light in my chest, like, I know this is what I need to do. I have no doubt. I'm going to take the leap of faith. And like a few days later, the sales started to be coming in. I started to have bookings.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So during that period, because, okay, this is very wild, I continued meditation. And one day I was taken aboard the starship. So not physically, it's like I left my body. I went on a starship. I did not see the being. I could not move. They put me in front of a screen and they made me look at symbols. I still don't know what they are to this day. This was really amazing. I was like, oh my God, I went on a starship. Then I went to space a few more times. Once I saw a starship from the outside. I was clearly in space. It was full HD, more real than here. This happened 2 or 3 times maybe. And one day I was meditating, and I believe that is what people call attacks or something like that, because I'm not attacked by entities and stuff like this, apparently. I was meditating, and I saw a reptilian in a holographic form in front of me. And he said, "Who the fuck are you?" Sorry, it's rated R today. So, "Who the fuck are you? Why aren't you afraid?" This is what he said, and he vanished. I said, "I have no idea. I have no idea who I am." Why did you say that? I'm just Patrice from France. I'm in the forest.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, if
And
people want to find out, do you have a website for what you're doing now?
Yes, my website is called nightshiftguy.com.
Nightshiftguy.com. Do you have a YouTube channel?
No, I don't. I just have this website. I'm just simple.
No, you don't have Facebook or anything else?
I have Instagram. It's on my website also. They will find it because my name is impossible to write. So it's better when people go to the website.
All right. Well, cool. Well, Patrice, I need to run to the next person. But if you are up late next week, come back and share some more stories with us.
Okay, I will come back next week.
Great. All right. Well, thanks, Patrice. Have a great evening. Hope you get some rest.
You too. Goodbye.
Bye. Oh, he's gone. And a big round of applause for Patrice. All right, Bettina. Now, Bettina has been here before. So let's bring Bettina in. I think Bettina's in Germany, if I'm correct. I hope so. I hope this is the right person.
Yeah.
Bettina. There you are.
Hello, Jeff.
Hi.
I cannot see you.
I'm here.
Yeah.
We see you. That's all that matters.
The picture of you. Great. There you are.
All right. Hello.
Hello. All together.
We just had someone from France and now Germany. This is a European night for us.
Yeah, very good. It's the same time. I think we're changing time.
Yeah, he
tonight.
said. Yeah, y'all are changing time.
So
I don't think we changed until for a week or two.
Sorry?
I think we will change in a week or two.
In a week or two.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not up to date on that. Well, what is new? What's going on in Germany?
Oh, we had a storm flood in the Baltic Sea 2 weeks ago. Maybe you heard from it?
A lot of flooding?
Yes, a storm flood. Flooding in the Baltic Sea. Which is very, very rare.
I have not, but I'm a long ways from you in Texas.
Yeah. So a lot of damage done there.
You're okay?
It was a flood that was not happening since 120 or 150 years, so long ago.
Wow.
So it was very, very strong. That was going on.
Wow, that's great. Well, there's all the climate change happening.
Yeah. So, this is not so good, but now it's over. And as always, people start to rebuild things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know. Well,
what do you have to share with us tonight?
Yeah, the last time you asked if I had some more encounters with ETs, and I said yes, but they were not that direct. But if you like, I can again read.
What type of ETs were you contacting?
I don't know which. This was one. It wasn't a gray.
It wasn't a gray.
It was dressed like a human. It was very strange.
Was it very tall and blonde?
No, I think it has a wig on. It was crazy. It was in a car, and we were in a car, a friend and I. We both were going to alternative school of healing, or an alternative medical school. I don't know how you call this in America. We call it Heilpraktiker in Germany.
Oh, chiropractic?
Heilpraktiker, yeah,
Heil.
healing. Healing.
Interesting. Healing
So it's
practice.
alternative medicine, and
Cool.
you're not allowed to heal in Germany. You have to be a doctor, a medical doctor, or you have to be a Heilpraktiker, an alternative medical practitioner, kind of this.
That's cool.
And yeah, before you can do that, before you can heal, you have to go to that school, pass a test, and then you got a certificate, and you can open I think you call it praxis as well. Yeah. So this is what we were doing. And I had a psychic friend. I met her at that school, and so she could channel. And we thought we were channeling spirits. And so I would like to start with this story I was writing down, because then it would be more fluently to speak.
Sure.
Okay, that was quite some years ago, in early spring 1993. So I have to start a bit earlier. So I had a psychic friend at that time. It was 1993, and my friend and I spoke a lot with our spirit guides those days. And one thing they once said, within others, that when I am at the age of retirement, shortly before or after I had retired, I would live in a place that I would not even be able to imagine, and that there will be no more money anymore. It would be a very good place. And I asked if he meant that when I was physically dead, that I would then be in this place. And he said, no, you in your lifetime now, with your body you inhabit now. So I will retire in September 27th, so not so far away from today. I wonder if this will happen. So this is where one of these things we were talking about. And one early day in spring, my friend had a strange encounter while walking around a pond in a park. And when she told me that, I said, this was our spirit guide, you know. And I said to the spirit guides, she has all these fancy things happening to her, and I want to have a meeting with you too. And so they said, okay. They said through my friends again, well, then look out who will cross your way when you are on your way to your school of alternative medicine tonight. So we both were prepared. And we were happily joking that we would grab that spirit guide and take him home with us if he crosses our way. So the first sign, so we were on the street driving to the school, and we in the middle of Hamburg, a rush hour, everywhere cars. So the first sign that I felt when I was sitting in the car was that the energy around me was changing. Something was behind me happening. I didn't know. It was kind of energy, maybe kind of electricity in the air. It's hard to describe. The situation was such: I drove the car, my friend sat beside me, and suddenly it felt as if someone was sitting behind me on the back seat. But we both were the only ones in the car. So I started to talk something easy about eating healthy fruits or so. I said, I had eaten today an apple and I wanted to say banana, but I couldn't. I couldn't speak anymore. It came out And then I couldn't speak anymore. I had no control over my voice anymore. Meanwhile, we stood at a red traffic light. In Germany, we have the red light, the yellow light, and the green. So 3 lights, 3 colors, and it was red. Everyone was waiting at the traffic light to go again. Let me see. So suddenly I had the urge to look out the left window. So I turned my head, looking out the left window. And there was also standing in front of a red traffic light, squeezed within all the other cars that were standing there, a dark blue limousine with a driver in a blue uniform and a strange lady at the back seat. She seemed to have a wig with curly gray hair, a flat head with these nets and these knots in it. That I think that was fashion in the 30s, 1930 or so. The ladies had this head where they had this net over the faces. So I looked at her. She looked at me with the bluest, biggest eyes I have ever seen. Big blue eyes. And she was directly staring into my eyes. And I thought, oh my God, she knows every secret. She knows everything about me. It was such a strange feeling. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak, or hardly could move. I had no control over my body. I just looked at her and she looked at me. And then I first thought maybe it was a coincidence, and this woman didn't want to look at me. She just looked out of her car. So I made this, showing to myself, me, making this sign, and she was nodding very slowly and directly looked into my eyes. And that was so strange. And then suddenly I had the feeling suddenly I got the control back over my body. So I turned my head, looked at the traffic light, and it changed into yellow. I put in the first gear in the car, started rolling, and looked at the side to her car again, and the car was gone. It was gone. There was no car, and that was really strange because the street was packed, and she couldn't have move away within this short time. So that was very strange. And then I said to my friend, did you see that? Did you see this lady? And I think that was the one who was announced to us. And she said, yes, I think so. And what was very strange is that we could remember how she was dressed. And because if you look into the window of a car, you can only see here from this side, and you cannot see if this person had a skirt or some pants or something. But we knew that she was dressed in a blue. Let me see, where's the description?
So you and other people saw her, right?
My friend was sitting beside me. First she didn't look, but then she had a very short glance to the left side, and she saw her for a split second. And so where are my lines here? So you cannot see the skirt or the pants, or if there is a handbag on the lap, if you look into a car further away into a window. But we knew what she was wearing, and we compared what we saw. And I said what I saw was she was wearing a blue jacket, knee-long blue tight skirt, and old-fashioned handbag. And my friend said, yes, this is what I saw too. But we could not saw through the car. It was strange that we had this complete dress that she wore. Do you know what I mean? If you look into a car from afar, you cannot see what somebody was wearing, but we knew what she was wearing.
You could see through the car. It was like transparent.
I don't know. We didn't look. No, I don't have the feeling that I looked through the car. I simply knew.
Well, it sounds like it, it was non-physical anyways, because she just took off.
Yeah. And her face was a longer face, elongated face. She had a big nose, pointy nose, and quite big. And she had wrinkles, and her skin was brownish grayish. It was not a healthy skin tone for a human. But the very big thing was her eyes, all blue, no white in her eyes, all blue, bright blue, very big eyes.
Did you see the podcast I posted the other day with the woman from the United Kingdom that was seeing aliens with big eyes?
Oh, it was interesting. Yes, and I went to the Facebook. I'm not at Facebook, but you can, if you go to Facebook, you can open just the first page and look, and I was able to see the pictures.
Was it anything like that?
No, these faces were prettier. She had a quite long, elongated face. It was really longer than usual, and slimmer. You don't say smaller, narrower. No, not so not so wide. I'm missing the word again.
Right.
Sorry.
That's okay. Maybe maybe her face was like an upside down pyramid.
No. It was small.
Just slender.
Long and
narrow.
Thank you. Narrow, slender. Yes, more than not so beautiful like on the pictures, but the eyes were indeed very big. Still human-like, but very big. So today I would say it was an ET.
How long ago did this happen?
The time during 1 minute maybe.
No,
as
how
long
long
as it
ago?
take,
a year ago, 10 years ago?
1993.
Oh, it's
so
been a while.
It's 30 years.
30 years. Wow.
30 years, yeah, that's true.
Have you had any more ET contacts since then?
Yeah, in 2016 I had a healing, I think, by ETs, but I wasn't able to open my eyes. I had pneumonia, lung infection, and I had high fever, and I went to X-rays, and they made a big fuss, and they didn't want to tell me what it was. And I went to the doctor, and she said they found something else in your lungs, maybe a shadow that shouldn't be there. But she could not say anything. She had to wait for the report from the specialist, from the X-ray specialist. And she said, call me tomorrow. And I went home, very high fever because of this lung infection. And I thought the next day I would get a diagnosis of cancer or something. So I was very fearful. And I said to my upper 10,000, as I call them, help me, please, I don't want to die. And I'm so afraid that I'm having lung cancer and have this terrible death. So, yeah, I was crying a bit and then falling asleep. And the next morning, I went up and I went to my living room here that you can see behind. And I lay on the couch because I couldn't lay in my bed anymore. The back is laying too long in your bed, your back hurts. So I went to the couch and I slept a little bit, and then suddenly I heard that someone was moving around in the living room, and I wanted to see who it was. I couldn't open my eyes, and that is strange. If you want to open your eyes, it's usually very easy, and I couldn't. I tried so hard. I couldn't open the eyes, and I couldn't move. And then I still heard someone, if someone is moving around, you can hear it, because the legs are, when you walk, you can hear the sound of fabric,
Right.
touching. So I knew there was somebody.
Did you ever see anybody?
I couldn't open my eyes.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, I wasn't able. I tried, so I wanted
That's
to
too
see.
bad.
So I said in my thought, okay, I see. I'm not allowed to see you, but I need a proof. It could be an illusion. I have high fever. I know this. It could be an illusion, just a dream or something. And I need a proof. And I ask you, please, would you touch me as a proof? But first, what I got was a kind of treatment with a machine or something that sounded like an electric razor. Razor, yeah. It was vibrating, and they put it on my back, upper back, and going up and down. And it was vibrating, very pleasant, and the vibration went through the whole body. It was really a very pleasant thing, about 20 seconds or so. Then they stopped. And then I was able to stretch out my arm like this, long, of course, but now at the camera. And then there was a movement, like a hand was placed this way on my hand and making this movement. And it was a little hand from a 3-year-old child. And when this hand touched me, I remembered, I saw pictures. My heart went open. I really could feel the chakra. I never felt that before. Open up very, very wide. I felt tremendous love, and I saw pictures from inside a craft, and it was very smooth. I have the description written down here. So let me read this. Is better than pre-speaking. So suddenly I saw in my mind's eye rooms with milk white walls that looked like they were formed from soft soapstone. There were no corners and edges, no doors and windows. Everything was soft, round, and gentle. There was no furniture either. Nothing was lying around. And I suddenly understood that these people lived there, or how these people lived there, how their society worked. Everyone was there for the other. Nobody did anything only for himself. Whatever one did it for the others too. This society has discarded its ego like an old toy from a baby's days. You still can have it, but you don't want it. It's boring. One had outgrown the ego behavior, and I felt an incredible homesickness. And this is very true. I remembered I belonged to those people. And I felt so homesick.
I guess that was your star family.
I think so. But it was, the strange thing is that in this moment, I soon felt that they were retracting. Somehow they were ready to go, and I in my mind I yelled to him, "Take me with you." I want to go home. I don't want to stay here, and this is not my planet. This is not my place, and I want to go home. And please don't leave me here. Not here. Not on this planet.
Not at this place. Yeah.
It was terrible, and they went, of course, and I knew, of course, I have to stay here.
Yeah. Well, Bettina,
because
I was going to say, Bettina, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us today. I have to run. I've got 3 people in the waiting room.
Yeah.
But
Sorry for taking so much time.
That's okay. I appreciate you, and come back and tell us some more.
Yeah. Okay. So goodbye to everybody. Thank you for listening and for your patience.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And a big round of applause for Bettina. All right, John Martin's here, and he's possibly out. I'm going to bring him in first because he's maybe live streaming some UFOs. And he's been a couple of times, and he's out there live streaming, and maybe we'll see some more UFOs live right now. So I want to see what he's up to real quick. Let's see if we can see something out there. Where is he? All right, maybe he's slowly joining us. And then I'll get to Vicky and then to Stephanie. And Dream Detective, you have not missed Vicky. He is not here.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, John.
How are you?
Great. How are you? It's been about a month since we've seen you. Welcome back. Oh, wow. You have a nice clear sky tonight.
Sure do. So good to see you.
All right.
Friend.
Likewise. So for those of you who have not been here, and I'm going to put you in full screen, John is able to, I would know, would you say call in UFOs, John? Or how would you say that? How would we describe what you're able to do?
I ask our star family to interact, and they are always very cooperative.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just always a pleasure to be able to share energies with them.
Have you had any sightings tonight?
Oh yeah, I had one. As soon as I pulled up, there was a beautiful craft that came in. I was able to get it on my other camera, and then when it was almost to the horizon, another flashing craft came on this side. Right now, I'm not sure if you can see, the moon is very, very bright, which makes it a challenge.
Yeah, I noticed it was kind of bright tonight. I wasn't really sure why. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of obscured by this tree over here.
Mm-hmm.
Which is helpful, and Venus is right below, which is very cool. Last night, I had a craft that came through, Jeff, and it flew directly over, and as soon as it was directly overhead, it grew in intensity about 20 times. I've got it on my camera, and I'll send you that, but it was beautiful. I mean, it's a great higher energy craft that came through.
What is the closest a craft has ever been to you?
About 200 feet, probably.
Wow. I mean, that's
yeah, I was
really close.
in my courtyard, and I'll send that to you also. And there was 5 of them that came through that were just above treetop level. They were golden, and they were just kind of coming one after the other, and they made a point to line perfectly with other aircraft that were flying in the other direction above them. So you could see that they were on this side of the craft. I mean, they're very deliberate in their actions, and it's so amazing. I had a perfect triangle the night before, right over here, and I said, wait a minute, there's not a triangle constellation. And then it just slowly I got that on video as well. So I'm hoping we may have some good luck tonight. We'll see.
You know, I think you've inspired some of my audience, because now I've had a couple people who are now starting to see craft.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm very happy to hear that. And sometimes, Jeff, I can kind of gauge on.
Well, that looks like a plane, I guess.
This is an aircraft here.
Right.
And if our star family are around, oftentimes they will be close by the craft, so I could kind of gauge how active the night will be if they are somewhere in the vicinity of the aircraft. So I'm just looking right now. That's one of the techniques I use, but I'm also, of course, performing music in my mind, and I'm speaking to them, and I'm always open to the experience.
So you're not actually bringing your guitar out anymore?
I don't do it out here. My guitars are very expensive, and there's really no way to play and film. You kind of have my hands full, just interacting. But I play in my mind, and that's how we do it here. I sit on my deck, of course, during the day and play, and that's the other type of interaction that I do. But that's what my book is about too, is use your mind and project what's important to you, just with your mind and your heart and your spirit together, and send it deep in the universe. And that's how they so greatly honor us when we do that. So I would definitely encourage your viewers, share what's really important to you, to the universe, and know that, you know, you created an action that is throughout all of there's a quantum level of interaction that goes well beyond this local area, and it can be here and on the other side of the universe and all points in between and all the dimensions. And just visualize that. And you don't have to understand it, because I sure don't, but it works, and it's a very effective way to really expand your consciousness and have beautiful interactions with our star family.
Do you locate the craft by looking in the sky with your eyes or looking at the viewfinder in your camera?
Oftentimes I can feel them if they're behind me. Either they send the energies down to me and I turn around and then you see the beautiful craft coming in. Sometimes I see them in the viewfinder itself. Oftentimes I'll see them in just flying through. But yeah, sometimes as well, they're only seen through the camera lens. And let me just give you a demonstration to see if anybody might be around. Can you see the stars?
Yes.
Okay.
It's pretty clear
So,
there tonight.
Yeah, it's a good night for it. And so I'll just kind of do a slow scan to see if there are any energies that are around. And it's pretty quiet right now. Jeff, sometimes it is so active, but other times it's very quiet.
You know that we've seen him twice, so I have these expectations now like I'm going to see them every time.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way.
Right.
But I'm always just thankful and grateful to be out here and be able to interact when they are able to. I've had them trail aircraft, and then when they get directly over where I am, they shoot straight out into space. And that is an amazing thing to see. I've got some videos of that I'll send to you. But I mean, that's a very deliberate act on their part to, they stay a safe distance, of course, and there was one point where I would say, safety first, dear friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then very clearly in my mind, it's really about the only time I've been admonished by them. They'd say, well, we've been in these skies for thousands of years. I think we know what we're doing. So I don't really do that anymore. I just film them and let them fly in the way that they wish to. But it's amazing, all the different craft that have come to this little spot. I'm sitting at my picnic table.
Have you ever considered getting some night vision goggles?
I guess I could. I've got a, what is it called? Luna Optics, which is really a night vision camera. I've got the Psionics, which is night vision. This Sony is pretty much, it's low light. It's a low light camera, so it does basically the same thing. But I like to be able to see them and not make it truly a virtual experience. If I'm wearing goggles the whole time, in general, I'll film, but I'll move the camera away so I can look at them directly too. So I like to do that when I can. But it is so bright tonight. And like with the naked eye, you can only see maybe a dozen stars, maybe. But with the camera, you can see many, many more. So.
Well, shucks, it's just not it's not active right now.
I'm sorry?
I said, unfortunately, it's just not active right now.
Yeah, it's, I'll be out for an hour and it might be active for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So I saw one as I was coming in, and then a second one that was coming this way. But what I can do is, when they do start, Jeff, there's generally a number of them. So if you want to move on, and I'll just send you a text if I see.
Sure. If something comes back, text me and we'll try to bring you right back in.
Sounds good to me.
All right, John, thanks for checking in with us.
Sure, Jeff. Good to see you, my friend.
You too, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
Cheers. All right, so maybe he will be back with some ETs. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure most of you have been here before, but he has been on twice, and we've seen ETs with him twice. So hopefully he'll be back and we can see some more. All right, next up we got Vicky Gold Ganesh. And we'll see if Vicky has some more yogic poses that he will be teaching. Hopefully Vicky didn't think that we forgot about him. Sometimes it takes a little time because he is in India. But we'll see. And I wonder if Vicky knows Yogini Rome, who I had on today, because she's in India and he's in southern India in Bangalore. And she is in Karnataka. And I wonder if she's famous enough where if he has heard of her. That'd be real interesting. So once again, tomorrow I have Jason Shurka. And then the next night I have Sarah Breskman Cosme that does QHHT and even has done it with Dolores Cannon's daughter. And then we have Yogini Rome. And anyways, while we're waiting for him to come in, I'm not sure if he's there or not. Well, I'll give him a minute or two. Let me tell you who's up for this week. We have a guy, Simon Kinney from the UK, and he will be teaching us about tarot on Monday. There's another guy named Tim Tactical, and I think he's pretty famous too, and he will be here on Tuesday. That's actually my recording day, so then I have a NDE on Wednesday. Suzanne Ross, and she's going to tell us about the positive version of the simulation, and she puts on one of those big conferences with all the famous people there. So I'm going to be recording with her on Thursday, and then Kia White, I think that's an NDE on Friday, and then another NDE on Saturday. So the week has been pretty much booked up. All right, I'm going to put, I think Vicky probably figured I'm not bringing on or whatever. I'm going to put Vicky back into the waiting room. And we'll bring on Stephanie Silverstone. And I think she was here last week with her husband. I'm going to take a chance on this. And then Rhonda Robinson, are you in the chat? Because I don't recognize your name. So if you're in the chat, let us know. All right.
Hey, brother.
I was right. I was right. I figured that was your wife.
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me? I hear you. Yeah, you must be muting me for some reason. I hear you just fine. Testing 1, 2, 3. I can hear you.
Oh, awesome. We can hear you too.
All right. What happened? Did you have your headphones muted?
Well, the thing was in speakers, so I had to change it to headphones.
Ah, okay. What are you guys up to this evening?
Well, we just, a couple of weeks ago, we actually went to Austin, Texas.
Oh, wow. It's right up the street from me.
Yeah.
In Dripping Springs, yeah.
Oh, in Dripping Springs. Yeah. What are you guys doing in Texas?
Well, we actually went to the solar eclipse there was a gathering, you know,
yeah. What was that? Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I forgot.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I was out in my backyard. I don't know if you guys, you probably weren't here that weekend. I was trying to get pictures of it. I was holding my phone without looking at the sun, and it didn't come well in my phone. But what the funny thing was, the reflection of the sun on my window, it caught and you could see the nice ring of fire on my window. And I thought about posting it on Facebook, on our Facebook page, but I just thought, there's so many great pictures of the ring and fire. Mine wasn't really that interesting compared to what's out there, so I just kind of blew it off.
Well, you know, every picture has its own, you know, value to it. So,
True.
you know.
So that's great. Was that your first time to Austin?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
It was.
Wow, it was amazing. I mean, you guys are really lucky because the amount of stars we could see at night, it was unbelievable. I have never seen that many stars in my life. It was amazing.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, if you get out of the city, you can do well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to the lake, or did you go to there's a place called Jacob's Well, and it's like a water creek that goes into an underwater well, and it looks like it goes on for infinity. I don't think even anybody knows how deep it is.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, it was actually an event that was orchestrated by, I don't know if you've heard of Rion de Rowan from Unite. His YouTube channel is Unite the Collective, and so they hosted it out at the Tyrosa Ranch.
I don't know that ranch. You know, the interesting thing is so many people are moving to Austin, especially so many YouTubers. It's weird. I've had like 2 or 3 guests that are also not guests, but also have channels. And I was like, whoa, you're in Austin? Wow, I was totally shocked about it. I just, you know, and I think that since Joe Rogan moved there, maybe all these other people thought it was the place to move to or something. Yeah, it's crazy. So, all right, what kind of teaching can you give us this evening? What kind of information do you got for us?
Well, we just wanted to share our experience we had over there at Austin, Texas. And then, you know, if we have time, then we can see a perception.
A perception?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that?
Perception as in to see a thing in a certain way, you know. In a way which is, how do I put it? Like to see it from outside, to see the bigger picture of it. Because
Go ahead. I'll tell you in a minute.
So perception is everything, because what's the world to you is your perception of the world is the world to you. So when your perception is changed, then your world changes, your reality changes.
It just came to me, and this is not, I don't know why it came to me from what you were saying, but what I found fascinating, I have this guest that comes on in 2 nights, and what Sarah Breskman Cosme, and we were talking about, you know, many guests talk about it, and I think everybody knows you need to raise your vibrations. You need to raise your vibrations. And I think most people will say that the way to do that is meditate and or, you know, I don't know, eat clean and live clean. But I love what she said, and she said changing your beliefs. Changing your belief systems will raise your vibration. And, you know, just like everybody who is watching this podcast on a daily is probably raising their vibrations just from watching, because you take in new bits of information. You may not believe every word every guest says every day, but you take little bits and pieces here and there, and you start to change your beliefs, and that's raising your vibration.
Absolutely.
Like just like what you were saying, maybe because it ties into your perception. You're changing your perceptions.
And that's why it's so great that you have this platform that everyone can share, because the fact is that there is no just one way to either awaken or raise your vibration. It's going to be very different for each person.
You know, I was looking at you and you're wearing that, I'm not sure what that's called, but you remind me, you know of the part of India called Karnataka?
That's actually the state that Bangalore is in.
Okay, so my guest today, I recorded her today. She's a yogini. Or she said some people call her Guru Ma. I don't know if you've heard of her, Yogini Rome. But she has a retreat and people from all around the world go see her. And she kind of reminds me of a female version of Sadhguru. And she was wearing like a kind of like what you were wearing, but more, like a, I don't know if I'd really call it a sari. It was more like what you would see gurus wear.
It might have been like a curtsy with a dupatta.
And so we talked first about her own near-death experience. She got ran over by a car. And then she, from what I can understand, she was a very successful businesswoman in India and then changed her life completely and became this yogini. And now she has, like I said, a place. I wish I could tell you. Kur, does that sound familiar to you? Kur?
It's a hill station in Karnataka.
Right. She said that she lives in the Scotland of India. Does that sound familiar? Up in the mountains.
That's a beautiful place. Many people go there to it.
Yeah. So I was just curious. I guess you haven't heard of her then.
I might have seen her maybe online, but I don't know her name. So I'll check her video.
Yeah, so that's interesting. And so, well, he isn't here today either. I mean, he was here, I don't know, Bangalore, but our guest, Vicky Gold Ganesh, is also from Bangalore.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm getting popular there.
Yes.
I hope so.
His dance is always me.
Maybe you can give me advice on how to get more popular in India.
Well, you're already, I mean, look at your channel. Within a month, I could see how fast your channel is growing, brother. It was 111,000 before. Now it's reached 119,000. So that's awesome. That tells us that people are gravitating to it.
Yeah, it's getting there. So I cut you off. You were talking about perception.
Yeah, well, you didn't cut me off either. I just wanted to say that's what it was. About. So,
Go
ahead, brother.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, we were gonna talk, about we actually drove from here to Texas. It was just unbelievable. 16 hours drive.
That's a long drive. You were right down the street. I wish you would have known. We could have met you.
Well, I knew that you were in Texas, but I didn't think that you were that close. It was.
It was really an amazing experience, though, was meeting so many people who are on the same vibrational field as we are, like-minded individuals.
Who was the YouTuber?
Rion De Rowan.
Rion De Rowan?
Yeah. So his channel name is Unite the Collective, without any space.
Hey, you could probably look up the Morning Coffee with Rion.
Maybe I'll get him as a guest.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's actually it was my husband who found him initially. Whenever we went to the event, I'd only really seen like one or two of his videos, and he's a little loud for my taste, to be completely honest. But when I met him in person, really, really a wonderful being, and had such a beautiful and welcoming aura.
That's great.
It was fun. I mean, I just Mm-hmm. Sorry, brother. Go ahead.
No, I was just curious how many people were there.
It was like 60, 70.
Around 50 to 60.
Yeah, it was a smaller venue, so they didn't have as much space as some of their previous events. But that actually suited us just fine. We prefer more smaller, intimate. But they had, sound healer come out, which was a wonderful experience. People there were able to actually during the sound healing or after the sound healing sessions, they said that during it, certain areas of the body where they were having issues, they could actually feel that area vibrate. I know for myself, I sat with my eyes open the whole time, and all of a sudden it was like static just kind of came in front. So,
did you feel like you got healed in any way?
well, I will say that ever since then, I have had moments of clarity without my cheaters on.
It's amazing. This guest again, the same woman I mentioned that does QHHT hypnotherapy. We talked about that, and we talked about, I think it was her son that got to the point of doing hypnotherapy, and maybe from a past life or something, doesn't need to wear glasses anymore. Like, imagine, I don't remember the exact story, I should, but if you had something in your past life that you were afraid to look at and were closing your eyes, and imagine carrying it over into this life, and you still have that subconscious fear of looking at something where you're destroying your own vision in this life.
Yeah. That's the thing. We are so much free spirits that we want to take up challenge. Oh my, I missed this in this life. Let me take it up as a challenge and, beat that in this life when I'm coming, reincarnating again. So that's why we take everything like that and try to, beat the challenge.
Yeah. Or would you say it's a challenge or a game?
Well, it's a game, game is challenging, right?
Right. Well, you're not wearing one of your shirts today, are you?
Oh, I am.
Oh, you are?
So this is one of our t-shirts. Well, you tell me if you can read it clearly.
Go figure. Selflessness, Christ, religion, self-improvement. It's cool.
So Christ's teaching was, love each other. So don't judge others. So it's all about oneness and selflessness. But the religion, what they do is to improve yourself. That's the whole teaching. The religion is based on that. And when you see, Christ's energy was all about unconditional love, forgiveness, high vibration. And you take religion, they make you believe that you're a sinner, first of all. Then there's guilt, and then there's shame. Those are the most two lowest vibrations. Can you see how things are going on?
Essentially, the religion takes you away from the Christ consciousness.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. What was the name of your YouTube channel again? It's a long one, so it's hard for me to remember.
Blind our eyes without an open heart.
Without an open heart.
Hey, you can't. Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
Hey, you can't see. You can't see if your heart is not open. It's blind.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Well, guys, I've got to run to the next person. I've got 3 people in the waiting room. Thank you guys for waiting on me and hanging out with us.
Thank you, brother. It's always fun to be with you.
We're happy to have you. All right, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And a round of applause for them. Now we'll see if Vicky's still here, because I told Vicky that I would check back with him. I put him back in the waiting room. And we'll see if he's there. If not, we'll move on to Rhonda. Did we ever find Rhonda in the chat? Is Rhonda in the chat anywhere? Rhonda, if you're in the chat, let us see you there, because we have to kind of vet the guests. Everybody I've known today so far. Vicky, can you hear me? Hi, Vicky.
Yeah, hi.
Just
a minute.
What happened?
Yeah,
So
just the phone was hanging. Phone was hanging.
the phone was hanging?
Yeah. Yeah, now I'm able to.
Are you in the Karnataka region of India?
I am in southern India.
Yeah, do you know Karnataka?
Yeah, Karnataka.
Do you know Yogini Rome?
You were?
Have you heard of a Yogini Guruma named Yogini Rome?
No, I haven't heard.
She's in Kur? That sound familiar?
No. No, I haven't heard of such yoginis.
Yoginis? I think she's very few yoginis. They're mostly yogis there, right?
Yeah,
Or
mostly yogis.
or mostly gurus, not gurumas.
No,
Oh, yeah,
very few.
Very few, yeah. Well, what are you dressed up today as? What is your costume today?
Today, as a female, I've dressed up as a female.
Just as a female?
Yeah,
That's a very nice outfit.
yeah,
Good job.
yeah. Thank you.
Are you going to be teaching us any more yoga poses today?
Yeah, of course. I'll start with Gomukhasana.
Oh, can you say that? How do you say that?
It's called cow face pose.
Cow face pose?
Yeah.
What benefits does it give you if you do that pose?
It activates the heart chakra and also strengthens the shoulders.
All right. So if you want to learn this pose with Vicky here, the cow face pose, it activates the heart chakras and strengthens shoulders. Do you ever do any mantras while you're doing yoga?
Yeah, I do certain syllables to activate the chakras. Certain vowel sounds to activate the chakra, specific vowel sounds relating to the chakra.
Ah, that's good. Do you ever put any of your dresses up on the wall?
No.
All right. Those are just kind of like different fabrics on the wall then.
No. Those are different from the wearables.
Oh, okay. All right, well, let's see the cow face pose.
Yeah.
Now, if you didn't see it last week, Vicky has great flexibility and strength.
Are you able to see?
Yes?
Yeah, this is the cow face pose.
I don't know if I can do that.
And we can do it opposite side.
No, I guess I'm too old. I can't get my hands to reach each other. Let me try the other one. No, I'd have to get my wife behind me and force my hands together. I can't reach. She's trying to reach. No, it's not working. She's going to pull my shoulder out of the socket. We'll see if I can do that. I think you need to pick up my bottom hand. Wait. You're going to break my shoulder on camera. Let's try the other one. Well, one of my shoulders, I hurt my shoulder a long time ago. No, this is not going to work. I need a lot of work on that.
So this is called Gomukhasana. Cow face pose.
Cow face pose. Interesting. Why do they name it cow face? Where does the cow face come from?
I don't know, but that it is named after the cow face.
Interesting.
So it activates the heart chakra. It activates the heart chakra and also the shoulder. It strengthens the shoulders.
It strengthens it. For me, I feel like I need more flexibility. I guess that's something I actually, I think I told my wife recently, and she'd probably agree. I was saying I need to get back into yoga again and start doing that, because as you get older, I'm not saying I'm that old, but I'm just saying as you get older, it's so important to maintain flexibility.
And also our flexibility depends a lot upon the diet that we eat.
The diet? Are you a vegetarian?
Yeah. No, actually, I am mostly a breatharian, but sometimes I do have 1 meal a day.
That's right, you're a breatharian, but you do eat some.
Yeah, but that would be vegetarian only, not anything like non, because I can hardly digest 1% of normal people's food. So
you mostly just eat rice or what?
Yeah, rice and fruits like pomegranate.
Pomegranate. Yeah, I love pomegranate.
Yeah.
I need to plant a pomegranate tree where I live. That would be amazing. That's a mental note, pomegranate tree. We had one in one of my houses a long time ago, and we moved from that many, many years ago. And I don't know. I wonder if remember that we planted a pomegranate tree? I wonder if that thing ever came to bearing fruit in that house. Someone in here says, I'm a snackitarian. A snackitarian. She eats snacks.
Oh.
That's a joke.
That would... Yeah.
So do you have... What else do you have to share with us this week? Anything new?
I can do one more yoga pose.
You want to do another yoga pose? All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. I think I can do that one. Oh, wait. But he's standing up, but I can at least put my hands behind my back. What is this one called?
It's called backside namaste pose.
Backside what?
Backside namaste.
Backside namaste.
Yeah.
That makes sense. This is another one for is this also for your heart chakra?
Yeah.
All right. And then also does this to me stretches your shoulders.
Yeah. That's the same thing of cow face pose.
I just heard recently that sitting is the new smoking. How sitting too much is so bad for you.
Yeah.
Did you make that?
Yeah, this is for my dance.
Oh, you want to dance? Do you want to dance? Oh,
yeah, I can dance.
I like that statue. Where'd you get that?
That is from the ceramic shop.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to put on some music if you're ready to dance. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Great job, Vicky. Great job. All right, Vicky. Thank you so much. I've got to run. I've got people waiting on me and I don't have a lot of time left. So thank you very much. Everybody likes seeing you for coming and joining us every week. So we hope we'll see you back next week.
Yeah, sure.
All right, there's Sir Nicholas.
Yeah, I wanted to show this. That's why.
Where did you get that picture?
That is from the poster, from the Photoshop.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm.
All right, Vicky, I got to run.
Yeah.
Take care, Vicky, and have a great week.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye. And a big round of applause for Vicky. All right, let's bring in Rhonda. Let's see what Rhonda's up to. We hope we'll see you back. Oh, it is? Week. Today's Tanya's birthday. My wife just let me know. Tanya, if you're there, happy birthday to you. I hope you've had an amazing day. Rhonda. Hello, Rhonda.
Hello.
Welcome. You've been here before, right?
Yes.
I thought I recognized you. Welcome back.
Good to be here.
Yeah, welcome. What do you have to share with us this week?
I have a performance coming up tomorrow, and I'm a jazz vocalist.
Right. I was gonna say you got a master's or a doctorate degree in something, but became an artist, right?
I have a bachelor's in chemical engineering.
Engineering. I knew there was something technical and science about you, and then you're doing you're a jazz vocalist. That's awesome. I wish you don't write your own music, do you?
I do.
You want to sing something for us of your own
today?
music?
I have something that's a jazz standard, but it's so old it's in the public domain, so it's something that I could.
It's not copyrightable.
Well, once songs are old enough, you can use them.
Oh, cool. You want to sing something for us? You feel up for it? Oh, awesome. Now, one thing is this. If a lot of people don't realize that musicians, sometimes Zoom freaks out over music. And so what you've got to do is you've got to go to your audio settings, which now I'm hearing myself echo.
Well, I just turned on, it says original sound for musicians.
Okay, then you probably did it. All right, so I'll be quiet and let you sing, so I will stop hearing myself echo.
Okay, so I'm going to play a little bit of this music, and I just want to know if you can hear it okay.
Well, yeah, I don't want to hear the music because that's got to be, even though the song's old, the recording has probably been copyrighted.
No, this is, it's an app called iReal Pro, and it just plays the chord progressions, so and the chord progressions are not copyrighted.
Oh, okay.
So this is like the most basic background. But I just want to test it a little bit to see if you can you hear that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let me start that again.
It's fast tempo.
This is called Sometimes I'm Happy.
All right, cool. You're going to give a concert soon?
Yes, tomorrow.
All right, well then this is a rehearsal.
A good rehearsal, yeah.
Perfect. All right, go for it.
Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm blue. My disposition depends on you. I never mind the rain from the skies if I can find the sun in your eyes. Sometimes I love you, sometimes I hate you, but when I hate you, it's 'cause I love you. That's how I am, so what can I do? I'm happy when I'm with you. Sometimes I love you, sometimes I hate you. But when I hate you, it's 'cause I love you. That's how I am. So what can I do? Oh, I'm happy when I'm with you. Ooh.
All right, great job, Rhonda. Great job. That was a great. You did a great. I mean, that sounded terrific.
Thank you.
I like that song too. I like that type of music.
Yeah, it was actually originally written in the 1920s, so that's why it's in the public domain.
Yeah, I don't know, how would you call it? I mean, I guess you would classify it as a certain type of jazz.
I guess you could call it swing. It's a swing tune.
Kind of a swing tune? Cool. Yeah. So how many songs are you going to sing tomorrow night?
Well, it's actually in the afternoon. Probably about 8 or 9 songs.
Oh, great.
And I'll be accompanied by a pianist.
Where will you be performing?
It's going to be at a church, and it's a reception that's an opening reception for a music history lecture about African American music in Baltimore.
That's great. Could you ever, I mean, if you keep this up, you may wind up in piano bars and cigar bars. Do you think you can handle hanging out in those places singing?
I already do. I've been a professional for 25 years now.
Oh, wow. So you're used to it then.
Very well known in Baltimore jazz scene.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Are you going to record, let me rephrase that. Do you have recordings out already?
I have a Christmas CD that you can probably find online. And I'm working on some other stuff.
Well, that's great.
Have a lot to do, a lot of goals yet to fulfill in the area of recording.
Well, after in a couple of days here, once Halloween's over, as everybody probably knows, it's going to be full-on Christmas, at least in the retail world. You know, as soon as they clear out Halloween decoration, it's Christmas trees and decorations for the next 3 months, 2 months. So I hope that you will find some more backing tracks and you could come sing us a Christmas song or two that are in the public domain.
Okay. I'm not sure. Well, there might be some, but yeah. Okay.
We almost have to go.
Sure.
I have 2 people. That's awesome. Well, Rhonda, do you have anything else you'd like to share before I run?
Yeah, just that it's just when I look back at my time as a chemical engineer and the spiritual awakening I had then, it just amazes me how there seems to have been, this path that, I was unaware of, and only looking back, can I really see that, oh, there was a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So I find that fascinating.
It's so fascinating. Can you do one thing for me? Can you turn off the sound thing?
Oh, sure.
It's hard for me to speak when I hear, there we go, when I hear myself echoing.
Okay.
It's so fascinating because I had, I say this all the time. One podcast goes into another. They're like, I feel like they're all interconnected in a way almost. But I was with this woman today, and she said that even though you may forget about your destiny, she used the word destiny, kind of like your purpose, your life path, you may come here and forget about it, but it doesn't forget about you. And it finds its way back to you, kind of like your life reminds me of that.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even like jazz. I wasn't exposed to jazz growing up. And it wasn't until very much into adulthood that I had a fateful meeting with a jazz vocalist that became my mentor.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Well, Rhonda, I got to run. Thank you so much for coming and singing. I wish you massive success tomorrow night, and I hope you have a great show.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And a big round of applause for Rhonda. All right, Chris Torres. Now, I think I don't know if the name is familiar. I'm pretty sure he has been here before. Or we talked about getting him in. Did we vet him? And while we're waiting to see if Chris Torres is in the chat, I need to give a thank you to Maggie Smith. Maggie, thank you for that super thanks. We really appreciate it. And John. Now there's a John here. We know PD Pete for sure. We all know who PD Pete is. But there's someone here that's named John. And we got Chris Torres. So we'll see if Chris Torres or John will show up in the chat. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a time delay. But we'll wait and see. I'm surprised Stephen Cake isn't here yet. And again, while we're waiting to see if John, Chris are showing up. Tomorrow night is with Jason Shurka. He's a big-time guest that speaks at big. He's speaking at this big convention. Has been on Coast to Coast a few times. I think he's even been on Gaia TV, and he is involved in something. Oh, there's Chris. All right, so let's bring on Chris. He is involved, kind of, I would say, like a covert, positive superhero group. He's one of my most unique guests, and I think you guys may be blown away at what he is up to.
Hello?
Chris.
Yeah, okay.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. There it is.
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
All right. What do you got to share with us tonight?
Well, just wanted to say I'm a big fan of your show, and
Thank you.
I think you do really great work. So, yeah.
Thank you.
This is a concept that I've been working on for a while now. It's not a new concept, but I have developed a new method, and it's called the infinite mind. Mm-hmm. And so I've been working on this for the past year or two, trying to put it into context. So as you can imagine, trying to put the concept of infinity into a context that we can all relate to. It's not easy, but so
interesting that you say that. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I've heard that we can't even comprehend infinity.
Right. Yet I think we all live different aspects of infinity in our everyday life, the higher principles of like the 12 universal laws that there are and things. So, let's see. My method is to start out gradually and slowly so you won't become overwhelmed while you're doing this. It's a visual meditation. And what you do is you take a simple object like a ball or a coin or any everyday object that you have access to, right? And what you do is you imagine this object in your mind, and then you imagine it stretching out into infinity in a straight line. And this way, the idea is keeping simple, because anybody could imagine, a simple object stretching out into a straight line. That's not hard. So what you do is initially you just do that with one object after another that you're familiar with in your everyday life. And you just learn as much as you can with each object. So one rose might signify one thing to somebody. A dozen roses might signify even higher meaning, to somebody. And an infinite amount of roses would signify something like opulence and abundance and things of that nature. So once you practice meditating, like continue to practice meditating with simple objects, you'll see that it takes you, like, see how that feels to you, like whenever you are imagining it. And each person is going to have a different effect, whenever they do this kind of meditation. So, there's all kinds of ways to enlightenment and higher consciousness and everything. But most people, whenever they, describe their story to you, they're only giving you their life experience, metaphors, and analogies. So the infinite mind method that I've developed takes you directly to a connection to your higher self. So
what kind of result?
Go ahead.
What kind of results do you get when you're meditating and imagining things extending to infinity?
So you'll get a higher sense of awareness of that object, right? Like a hyper sense, almost. Like a baseball player or basketball player might do visual meditations on shooting the basketball into the hoop. And they've already proven that has a certain amount of effect. They tend to have somewhat of a higher accuracy rate whenever they mentally imagine this. So imagine seeing that basketball stretching out into infinity and really focusing on that ball. Like, you'll be able to sense every, bit of texture on that ball. Your hands, when they touch it, will be so focused on the ball itself. And you can do that with the basketball hoop, or a baseball and a baseball bat. The more you're able to clearly see these objects in your mind, the easier they will be for you to handle them in the physical world, So eventually what that does is it gives you a heightened sense of physical reality. Therefore, you're balancing out your emotions by removing limited beliefs about your, previous awareness. See, a lot of people that are trying to give you a heightened sense of awareness, they'll remove you, like they'll say, you're not your thoughts. You're not your story that you once thought you believe. And they'll like point out the limited beliefs and say, see, you're not your thoughts, are you? And then the person that the student is just like left kind of confused, like, well, I'm not my thoughts. Yes, I have a better sense of ease and peace with oneness, but what do I do with my thinking? People get that sense of unity, but then they get bored, they want to do something else with their life, So to me, that's what the infinite mind is. There's infinite possibilities to what we are capable of as human beings, just because we can simply imagine infinite possibilities.
That's fascinating. That's something that I should try next time I meditate, is to try to do that.
Yeah, and then like you just continue to keep it simple. That way you don't, because when I was developing this method and I started practicing these things, I was kind of like, I don't know, I felt like almost I was losing my mind. But then I realized how important it is to keep it simple in the beginning. And as you go along, you can increase the complexity. So like, you know, you begin to break down the limits that you once believed you had with your imagination, and the potential and creativity that people will come up with unlimited potential.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I appreciate you coming and sharing that with us, Chris.
Yeah. So just before I go, so once you balance out your emotions, that'll leave you room to appreciate higher values. And when you appreciate higher values, you can begin to embody those values when you get enough practice. And that's what some people would say fifth density is. And your, fifth and sixth density is truly embodying these higher principles. But you can't do that with limited emotions and shadow work that people need to do, and things like that.
It's pretty cool. I appreciate it, Chris. I think it's fascinating what you did, and I think I will, until I do it, then it'll mean more to me once I experience it.
I do have a couple of videos that I made of a video generator on Infinite Day 369. So I plan on making some more, because coming on here has really inspired me, and I have been procrastinating terribly, even though I'm working on it at the same time. So thanks again for letting me on your show.
So if someone wants to go watch those videos, how do they do that?
Go to Infinite Day 369, and there's 2 videos up right now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Chris. Okay. I gotta run. Yep. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye. One second. A big round of applause for Chris. I don't know why people's things are frozen. I'm not frozen when I watch it on my end. Did you see it freeze? From our end, it didn't freeze, and the guest didn't freeze or anything like that. I don't know, but we're here still. John, did we ever find John here? There's a John here that's in the waiting room. Is there a John here? I'm not sure where he is, but let's bring in Stephen Cake. If I see you, John, then I'll bring you on. Or about to see him.
Oh, since my baby left me.
Well, hello there.
Well, hello, darling.
I actually saw that video today that popped up in my feed, and I saw Obi-Wan telling that to General Grievous. Well, hello there.
So uncivilized, isn't he?
You've got the orbs with you. You've got...
Of course we have the orbs. We always have the orbs. I bring them everywhere I go. I must show them off to everyone I see.
The orbs. Well...
The orbs, they're very powerful.
Are you going to do 6, 7, or 8?
Well, Jeff, since you asked, I guess I'll do 22 balls here. All at once. Here we go.
22. Let's give you some music.
I can't do 22. I can do 5, man. 5, you do 4 over here, man. Why not? That's right. Get the music rolling. that was fun.
Well, there was 2 great comments in there. I need a slice of cake and my favorite type of cake.
Yeah. Well, I love chocolate cake, but I'll take anything.
You like a cup of coffee with your cake?
Well, I don't drink coffee.
You don't? Drink tea.
Tea and crumpets.
That's what I like. Well, what do you have when you're down at the, what do they call that? When you are at the golf club and you're there at the country club, what do you drink at the country club?
I say, when I'm at the country club, I say, I ordered my filet mignon 4 holes ago. It's not here yet. Mm-hmm. Also, I hit my ball into the woods. It was signed by the Tiger Woods. I'd like it back, please.
It's almost like you're doing Thurston Howell III.
Yeah, I'd go the rich guy. That's what I wrote down. Rich guy. We're onward boating here, sir. Would you like to go yachting down in the Bahamas? It'd be wonderful, wouldn't it?
Yes, darling. What? My wife says you have beautiful eyes.
Yes, thank you.
Well, what is new this week?
It is close this weekend, yeah.
Oh, wow. As you be careful, you may start charming a lot of the audience.
I'm trying to charm as many as I can.
There you go.
I was gifted by the great mind. That's what I say. They took my mind right over, Jeff. Right over. I said, mate, take it right over, mate. Come on, right in there. The mind jackers just took it right over, mate. You can't do anything.
Well, the mind jackers are still with you, you're saying.
Yeah, I just say that anyone that just says, oh, I had a thought and it wasn't my own, they're getting mind jacked.
Is it possible that you could just say, okay, mind jackers, I've had enough. It's time to go. Goodbye.
We've had enough of them. We've had enough, but we must go faster. We must do more and more and more. Jeff, I don't think I can get them to go away. I think it's like permanent. At first, when this started, I was worried because at first it was Mary talking to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how long it would go on for.
I remember when it was mother.
She trained me. Yeah, at first they gave me this greater mind. I said, we have a greater mind we're just not aware of. Some people, they hear that voice. I've heard those experiences where they hear a voice in their mind and it's not their own. And it tells them to do something, either stop or
now
I have a good joke about it.
When you hear that voice, does it sound like your voice or some voice that's completely different? Like when you heard Mother Mary, was it a woman's voice that you heard?
Well, they could change it. So they showed me all these different ways. It could be, they could change. So when you have a thought in your head, it can appear to be, they showed it can come from different locations. It can have different tonalities. It can be higher. It can be lower. It can be a stern voice. It can be a loving voice. It can be all different. And when they were talking to me in the loving voice, it's like I could sit there and listen to it all day. It was wonderful.
Wow.
But they had to also be stern with me.
They had to say, Stephen, you're not.
The voice I have now can't zap me. Like they could just zap me. They could shock me. Oh yeah, they'd say, time to get up, Stevie. And they just give me a shock.
Do they wake you up in the morning?
Wake me up. I could not sleep if they didn't let me sleep.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you free from them in your dreams?
Well, so my dreams have been changed. So they're more vivid and I can ask for interpretations. But it's always about me. They always say it's about your life. So I say it's like this they won't always let me say what I want to say.
By the way, is it cold there? I see some kind of scarf around your neck.
It said felt like 23 out here.
Really?
It was like 35 with that wind. And I still went out there.
You still went and played? You still did an 18?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you'd call it playing, but I went out there.
Wow. We're still probably close to the 90s here. 23 sounds interesting. When do you think it will start snowing there? Soon?
Usually about a month from now. Yeah, but it's kind of like I say there's warm periods and sometimes we get a warm day. But it'll be cooling off pretty soon here.
Are you ready?
The highest we're going to see is like 40 from here on out.
Are you going to get a Santa suit this year? That would be pretty cool to be the juggling Santa, cruising around bringing good cheer to people.
I will try to get a Santa suit as soon as I can. How about that?
All right. Well, what else is new this week, Stephen?
Well, would you like to hear about my life or spiritual experiences?
Oh, what kind of a recent experience?
I said like do? I'm constantly having like I told you about my spirit that was with me, and it's like I could feel her as I was sleeping, touching me. But I say no one can tell. I mean, now I believe it's all the great mind, but we can never know for sure.
So you're saying that it was an entity, or it was a
It seems like that way, doesn't it?
Right. But then you don't seem sure about that.
Well, everyone will say they had an experience, and that's all I can say. The spirit doesn't go away. I said they started moving my body, and it's like it ramped up into this enlightenment where they could take over my body, my mind, my voice. So I had no idea what I was going to say. I would just go to speak, and it would be their words. So that went on for 6 months. They had to do it. I begged because no one was helping me. So I begged for someone to tell me. And I said, God, tell me what to do. But no one can just obey. There's what we want. They always explain to me, very simple. There's what we want.
Interesting that you use the word obey.
Yes. Well, see, there's no cross-referencing. So if you're under judgment, as they told me, I couldn't even speak to anyone about it. And you can't say, get behind me, Satan. It doesn't work. That does not work at all, because it's all, I say, a mind. They get in your mind, in your body.
Do you think
you have to just go along with it?
I had a guest today from India, and she was saying that heaven and hell are both an illusion. Do you have an opinion on that?
So, yes, the greater mind might be generating these. They might be generating these realities, but I don't think there's ways we can see around it. It's like we're just in an experience. I don't know how to explain that. I thought I had reality figured out. I thought I was getting to the truth, and then this happened to me. And I said they changed something in me. They taught me lessons. And I know I've said this, is you should try to do the things you want to do. They said I wasn't doing what I wanted to do.
You remind me of a guest, one of my previous guests, and she said at the age of 3 or 4, that's when you know your life's purpose. Can you remember what you just said, doing what you wanted to do? Can you remember back that far what you wanted to do? I don't think I can, but I'm just curious if you can.
Well, I think that it's different for everyone, because I said I just wanted to be happy and have a life. That's really it. And I like making things better. That's just how I work. I mean, I just want to improve things. Everything I do, it's like my mind is working to, how do I improve this? How do I make this better?
Right.
Like, how do I make this podcast better, darling?
Well,
how do we make
need
this
a
better?
lot
We
more.
spruce it up
What's
with
going
some
to spruce it up
comedy
is
and
I think we need a lot more Donald.
Let me tell you something, folks. We're doing something very large, huge, big. It's gonna be wonderful, folks. You're gonna love it.
That would be interesting if you. What about? Could you do President? You could do George Bush, can't you?
Let me tell you something. We will find out where we left a piece of cake. find out our 9/11's weapons inspector. Where are they?
Have
Not
you-
over here. Not here. Check over here. Not there.
That would be great if you could do an argument between Donald and George.
And put Donald in there too. Why not? You know. But I should be president, you know, but I was born in Australia. Mate, you weren't born down here, mate. Somewhere else.
I know.
So they made it easier for, I wanted to do impressions, so they made it easier for me to do them.
Well, they're like second nature for you now. They're too
Yeah, it
easy.
doesn't take effort. I said juggling, throwing, catching balls. I can learn quicker too.
Do you? I think that
If they're correcting my speech.
You know, I think the great impressionists are people that hear their voice from outside of their head. Like all of us generally hear our voice from the inside. Do you hear yours from the outside?
That's right. All right. That's what we do. I said, you just want to do it. And then hopefully something triggers and you'll get it. That's what I say.
Can you do Austin Powers?
Yeah, baby. Yeah. We're doing Austin Powers. Yeah, baby.
Or Dr. Evil?
Dr. Evil. I've never done him before. They're all kind of, the more you do, the more they kind of meld into each other. They do. Am I Timothy Frog or Yoda? Yeah, it's like they're all kind of dancing around there, having a little fun. You know, like pirates that I had to be, it's only that man, Amber Hood, sure, but then we're doing Paul McCartney, so then, sometimes we're working around it, man, working things out here.
That actually sounded a little bit more like John to me.
John Lennon, he was a great Beatle,
That's pretty difficult to try to be able to go from one Beatle to another.
Yeah, for some people it's easy though. It just comes easy. But I would have to work on it, and I have to want to do it. That's another thing. Because that's what they always say is like, ask for what you want.
Right.
Yeah, it's part of the manifest. I say reality just says, here, how about this? Try this on,
With your Dr. Edel, you just have to add this. How you always goes like that.
I was insolent and they beat me. Dr. Powers. Yeah, see, I don't work on it that much.
Wow.
Darling, I didn't work on it that much, but maybe I'll work on it harder next time.
Do you know?
Right.
Do you know about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie?
I've never heard of that one.
Well, a few years ago, there was a video game that was super popular called Five Nights at Freddy's. And they've actually are now coming out. I don't know if it's out yet or not. Maybe it came out last night. Now there is a movie of the video game.
That's crazy. I've never heard of it before. But what I'm gonna do is go out and watch it 5 times in a row for 5 nights with Freddy.
I have someone saying this would be I think this would be a hard one, but someone asked if you could do Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Like he's like happy. I say I can do micro impressions.
Yeah, that was a good micro.
And then sometimes I tell jokes as that person. Like I met Bubba once, and he said, "You need to go make a movie." And I said, "About what?" He said, "Just anything. It just don't matter. Just make it about how you're running."
That's good. That's really good. Who is your personal favorite?
Well, I have a few personal favorites. It might be Sean Connery. I'm not sure though. When he's playing a Russian sub commander, I tell him maybe you should try a different accent. Try a Russian accent. Try that one instead. And maybe they'll go over better. Maybe not.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I met some people, I think from somewhere in Eastern Europe, and they said, your accent isn't right. And I said, I'm just doing it for fun. It's comedy for me. It's not, I'm not.
Are you still putting up videos? When's the last time you put up one?
Occasionally I put up some.
Are you still doing, are you doing comedy,
they don't get
voices, or walking and talking?
I haven't done a walk and a talk in a while.
You know what you should do is you should do shorts. Because shorts would be perfect for you, and just do them like 15 to, just do micro impressions or like 15 to 30 seconds with your, and then those, I think those would get you a lot of traffic that way.
Jeff, you're missing the point here. I put out many videos and nobody's been watching them.
Even shorts?
Yeah, I don't think you understand what I'm talking about. I put them up there, Jeff, but I didn't get too much traction. They said I was not promoting myself. I need to promote more. That's the thing. It's like I wanted someone to just help me.
All right.
See that? Because
maybe we can do this. Sorry to interrupt you, but there's almost 200 people here. So when we finish, and I'm actually into overtime. Are you my last guest? Let me see. I think you are next to my last guest. I don't know. This John person, he never said who he was. So you might be my last guest. John, if you're here, please say something because I need to, we have to vet you to make sure you are a real person. So if you are, maybe everybody here, once this video is over, please go to Steven's YouTube channel and give him a view, and all of a sudden you'll bump one of your videos up 200 views.
Yeah, I think I got caps on my, I don't know how the algorithm works, but it's like there's some type of promotion.
Well, someone just said Jet said she or he just subscribed to your channel.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
So
they should tell me what they want to hear. Maybe I'll talk about it.
There you go. So there you
Otherwise,
go.
I can wrap. I made one called Mindyism.
Mindyism.
I said I had to come up with a name for it, where like you believe that there's an intelligence, but we're also getting mind jacked, folks. We're getting big mind jacks here, folks.
You started, yeah, because that's something new. I haven't heard Mindyism, and I guess they're jacking you now. They don't want it
We're
out.
getting mind jacked, folks. You think you get the truth, but you're getting a big mind jack. I thought I got all these stories. I told you I had a creation story about how we lived in a game world, and it's like in it, it was kind of reflecting my beliefs, but other people's beliefs too, because remote viewers. They said the pyramids were built with the help of creatures and whatnot. So, and when I tried to remote view that UFO I saw, I said, it's like they were just kind of giving me something. I don't know if it was true or not.
Interesting.
Because I did see something, and I don't know. It was that triangle.
Wow.
And I don't know what it was. It was that silent moving triangle.
Wow, that's a classic UFO that people see.
Yeah, I tried to remote view. I don't know what it was, who it was.
That's cool.
Maybe we'll never know. Maybe we'll find out someday.
It will. Maybe it will come pay
you
a visit
there and play golf with me someday.
Or maybe it'll pay you a visit without having to remote view it.
Yes, I'm hoping they'll land here, Jeff, and abduct me and take me to their leader so they can help me.
There you go.
I need some help, folks. I know.
1 second. Let me say 1 second, Stephen. Okay, this person who wants to come on, his name is John. Oh, they want Stephen's channel. What's your channel? Isn't it just called Stephen Cake?
Yeah.
Are you there? Can you put it in the chat real quick? Well, I guess you see his name. You just do Stephen Cake, and that's K-A-A-K-E, not C-A-K-E.
Yeah, right.
Right?
That's right.
K-A-A-K-E.
I know, it's
not the C-A-K-E.
one of those names that people don't know how to pronounce. Sometimes they say khaki.
Yeah. Well, you never know. So anyways, I am going to end the evening with you, my friend. I thank you all so much for coming and watching with us tonight. If you would personally do me a favor, go to Stephen's channel when this is over and watch a video of his so we can get some traction to his videos. All right, Stephen and everybody else, we love you guys. Then we are grateful that you come in and watch us. God bless you all and have a good night.